Welcome to the Masked Reader. My story is called Fatu, Fetch the Water. Fatu, fetch the water, called her mother from the house. We shall have spicy rice for supper. Fatu collected her large white bucket and hurried from the compound towards the well at the end of the village. Fatu, called Mrs. Banjo from beneath the shade of a tall mango tree. I'm so glad to have seen you. Here, take these onions with you. Take them to your mum, and I thank her for my splendid purple dress. Fatu hurried on towards the well. Fatu, Fatu, is that you? Called Mr. Jatta from the hot bakery. Here, take some warm bread to your mum, and thank her for my smart blue shirt. Fatu hurried on towards the well. Fatu, Fatu, wait, called Mrs. Darboe, who was busy sweeping her yard. Take these ripe bitter tomatoes, and thank your mum for this beautiful pink shirt. Fatu hurried on towards the well. Fatu, Fatu, called Mrs. Samate from the shadow of the wide boab tree. Give your mother these newly picked eggplants, and thank her for her pretty yellow wrap for baby Mariana. Fatu hurried on towards the well. Oh, Fatu is so busy. Fatu, Fatu, wait a moment, called Mr. Ture from his busy bicycle shop. Here, give your mother these fine fish, and thank her for my handsome green kaftan. And Fatu hurried on towards the well. Fatu, Fatu, come here quickly, called Mrs. Jummy from the colourful market stall. Here, take these dallases and ask your mum to make me a red school uniform for Omar. Fatu turned and hurried back home. Mum, Mum, Fatu cried excitedly. Look, I have onions from Mrs. Bojan, bread from Mr. Jatta, bitter tomatoes from Mrs. Darboe, eggplants from Mrs. Samata, fish from Mr. Ture, and Mrs. Jammy wants a new red school uniform for Omar. But where is the water? Asked her mother. Oh, gasped Fatu. Here it is, called her sister Isitu. I have fetched the water. You left the bucket at Mrs. Jammy's market stall, she giggled. Oh dear. Later that warm evening, the family and children's friends enjoyed an unexpected delicious feast of all the things that the people had given Fatu. Father was thirsty, but the bucket was empty. Fatu, fetch some what? He began to say. Shall I get it? Asked Isitu. No, I think it's my turn, don't you? Giggled Fatu. The family carried on eating their meal, secretly wondering what Fatu might bring home this time. The end. I'm going to show you a picture of Fatu. Here's Fatu there.